Silver is the biggest opportunity I have ever seen, bigger than real estate, bigger than anything else, because gold and silver is God's money. It's money made by God. And then in 1971, the U.S. government under President Nixon took God's money and turned it into man-made money. Never in the history of the, this is the thing, never in the history of the world has this ever happened. In 1971, the U.S. and Nixon convinced the entire world to replace gold and silver with paper money. This stuff. Cash is trash. So the reason we have so much volatility in the world today is historically, since the time of the Romans and the Greeks and the French and the English and the Germans, every time they have taken God's money, like silver here, and replaced it with man-made money, there's been economic volatility. Now the problem is, so the dollar is going to keep dropping. So one of the reasons I can predict what's going to happen is I can predict the dollar will keep dropping simply because the U.S. government and now the euro, the European central banks, are printing so much of this trash. So there will be more this printed than ever before, which means the dollar keeps coming down and other things keep going up. And that's really what's going to happen. It's predictable. And eventually this will go to its true worth, zero. So all of you savers out there and people trying to save this trash, you're going to lose big time. To me, I've been saying this for a number of years now, silver is the biggest opportunity I have ever seen, bigger than real estate, bigger than anything else.
That is the appeal of silver. It's just the potential of it going through the roof. There's an argument to be made that silver will sell at a premium to gold. Why? Because gold is produced, but it's not consumed. All the gold that's ever been mined is basically still around somewhere. Silver has been consumed. It's lost, gone forever. There are no stockpiles of silver anywhere left in the world that anyone can actually put a finger on. That is the unique opportunity of silver. It is a great opportunity for anybody that wants to make a hell of a lot of money in the coming years, as far as I'm concerned. Silver has been so cheap for so long that everyone expects that's the way it normally is. It's not. This part of time and space is an aberration in the history of precious metals, particularly silver. Silver is selling so cheap in comparison to gold, which is so cheap in comparison to the economic imbalances, that it is staggering to the imagination. The only good thing about this whole thing is that the gross ignorance and stupidity of the majority of investors means that the asset is so underpriced that those who get in now, before those people understand the error of their ways, will make gigantic amounts of money when silver does get back to its normalized, everyday, precious metal price. It is the poor man's gold.
Silver is an extremely interesting metal. I mean, it's also, in addition to being a precious metal, may even have a longer history than gold as a precious metal. And one, obviously, because of its price, it's more easily for the typical investor to accumulate and buy silver coins. It's also a remarkable, and I use that word advisedly, a remarkable industrial metal. Its properties are, totally unique. It's the best electrical conductor in the world, better than copper. It's the best thermal conductor in the world. And because of these unique properties, it finds itself in a lot of things you wouldn't suspect. One of the things you look at is how much you're using relative to how much silver there is in the ground. Right now, that ratio is 10 to 1. That means that
you're using 10 times more silver.
Every year, we've been mining about 1/10 of the reserve base of silver.
Oh my God.
That's scary. That is frightening. That means that we have to increase this resource dramatically, or else we're just going to run out of silver. And so you ask me for prices of silver. If I told you $100 based upon everything that I'm saying right now, I don't think in any way you could call me crazy. I mean, silver, I think, could, barring a collapse in China, which I just don't see, barring another major worldwide catastrophe, I think silver could be an absolute huge, huge winner. There's very little of it, and we need it for everything.
Little risk, big upside, and a no-brainer. Right now, there's a severe shortage brewing in the silver markets that can easily double or triple your money in the next few years. The total shortfall was 262 million ounces for 2013. However, much of that gap was closed by recycled silver and government stockpiles. But not all of it. The shortage is there. Recycled silver last year fell 24%, the largest drop on record. This silver story just gets better and better. Ore grades have collapsed 95% according to the USGS. The mining companies can't turn a profit, and exploration has almost come to a complete halt. On the demand side, physical demand rose by 13%, so much so that the US Mint literally sold out. China, who in 2005 used less than 1 million ounces of silver for solar panels, absorbed 35 million ounces just for solar in 2013. 62% of silver is used for industrial applications, like nearly all of our electronics, biology, medicine, and other commercial uses. 21% is used for jewelry and 12% for coins. It is safe to say that 95% of all silver consumed is gone, never to enter the supply side again. On the industrial side of silver, there's about 28 cents in your cell phone. Unless silver reaches thousands of dollars per ounce, that silver is gone. Silver formed into jewelry is the most costly silver, both because of its use and personal value to those who own it. This silver is essentially gone. Coins, silver eagles, and Canadian maples permanently off the market, never to experience 1800 degrees again. To consider this above ground available silver is a farce. This silver is gone. Silver's new uses are rising. All available supply is being consumed, and a real shortage in the physical markets is being completely ignored due to the paper markets, which sell at least 100 ounces of silver for every physical ounce in reality that is available. Silver's uses in solar panels was not even reported in 1999. By 2015, 100 million ounces of silver are projected for solar energy use. The price of silver, set largely by the COMEX, currently has one of the highest concentrated short positions, with 8 of the largest COMEX shorts near record highs for silver. Unlike other commodities where it is the producers themselves hedging their sales and locking in prices for future production, the actual silver miners hedging is at a multi-decade low. This silver manipulation by the world's largest bank, supported by the CFTC, US Treasury, and Federal Reserve, has been so successful that they have not only crushed the price of silver in spite of rising demand, but they have crushed the mining shares and future investment capital for the entire sector. Simply put, the silver shorts will be squeezed due to the real physical silver shortage that is upon us. When this happens, all hell will break loose in both the paper and physical precious metal markets. Your opportunity is to own silver today for less than the cost an actual mining company can even produce it for.
Well, like I said, there are these brief moments in history where the safest place to be, the safe haven investment for every second of the last 5,000 years, the only thing that has never gone to zero and can't go to zero, every stock can go to zero, that for these brief moments also becomes the place with the single greatest potential gains in purchasing power. If you looked at the 70s bull market, from 71 to 80, the top performer was silver. Second performer was gold. Third performer was oil. Fourth performer was the precious metals mining stocks. I can't understand why, you mentioned that people don't even do the recommended 10%. Well, why do they recommend 10%? They recommend 10% because they want to make money off of the other 90%, and those brokers that are saying this, they don't make any money off of the gold and silver. So they tell you that it's dangerous. You got to be careful with gold. Don't put any more than 10% in your portfolio as a hedge. What a bunch of crap. Gold was $35 an ounce in 1971. It's now about $1,000, and for the Dow to have had the same performance over that period of time, it would have to be over 26,000 points. It would have to be like 3.8 times higher than it is today. Everything throughout time goes from overvalued to undervalued to overvalued to undervalued. And whatever you're measuring it with is doing the exact opposite wave. So you've got everything. If you look at your house priced in gold or oil, or you look at gold priced in shares of the Dow or real estate, you'll see that everything is trapped in this valuation channel. Gold is done with its down wave, and stocks and real estate are done with their up wave, and they've just started to revert back. And they're going to continue this until gold is way overvalued and stocks and real estate are way undervalued. And then it's time to get out of your gold and silver. But, you know, we're in this period where governments are abusing their currencies worldwide, and gold and silver are going to account for all of this. And so there's, like I say, brief moments throughout history where the investment with the single greatest potential gains in purchasing power is also the safest place that you can put your wealth for the past 5,000 years. And I'm not going to let that pass me up, let me tell you. I absolutely went 100% into this, and I believe it absolutely, and I will follow what I believe. Thank you.
Yeah, you've often said, get yourself a safe, as much silver as you can, and a large caliber weapon.
A large caliber weapon, that's exactly right.
See the sunshine every day, breaking through the clouds, it lights my way, brightens up the road I chose to take.